Not good. Not good. All right, I need to go to subscribers only right away, and we need to change this thumbnail. I don't know what the heck happened, why it didn't upload the thumbnail, but you know, understandable, I guess. All right, I think we're good. What color is your Bugatti? I don't have a Bugatti yet, or will I have a Bugatti ever? I do not have a single Bugatti. It's a good time to insert an ad. That's what they said. What's good? What's going on? Love the streams. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for being here. Hi, Matt. What's up, dude? Hey, Matt. Bit of a pullback this morning. Not really. It's actually this morning we're seeing, you know, quite a bit of an increase from the low point. So if people bought in at that low point, I mean, you made a decent amount of money from that point to where we are right now. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Let me stay over here because I feel like um the chat is like right in my face on the screen. Maybe I should make the chat a little bit smaller. Just a little bit smaller. There we go. Perfect. Lunic has tanked completely. It has not tanked completely. So it went all the way down to a low, awaiting your live. Yeah, this morning was pretty hectic, and I also have to take Harper to her bus stop. So, it's just a lot of stuff. We got to get used to the new normal because she's going to kindergarten. So I have to be the one to take her to her bus stop, which I can either stop the stream and start a brand new stream, um, or I could just leave it on like I normally do. Did I get a new camera? No, it's the same camera. I have two cameras that I use. I have a Sony A6100, and then I also have a Canon. I can't remember what it is. Canon something. Let's see if it has it on the back. Canon Vixia HFG50. It's a great camera. I love this camera because it lasts literally forever. It does not die. Well, obviously, it dies. The battery dies. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't burn out like some other cameras that you're recording with. It's a camcorder. Matt, what do you think of placing a burn wallet's total tokens into a DAO staked and its massive interest earned will top it its own burn pile and compound the burns? That's a good idea. I think if we had they can allocate it towards a certain place, and then be able to gain a certain amount, which you can compound all of those burns. That's not a horrible idea, but I feel like um, at some point you're not going to be able to. I don't know. Most of the staked balance or the stakeable like interest, I guess, is going to that um, one wallet or one staked pool. So I'm not sure. It sounds interesting. I mean, right now we're trying to do the basic version of this to where we see massive burns that are happening, and then those massive burns we see that compound with more burns and more burns, but it's not a true compound to where you think like, oh well, we're taking 50 billion and we're staking that, and now we have the volume from the burn or from the stake um, to where we're burning that. I mean, that's not a bad idea, but maybe that's something that they think about in the future because technically they would have to reallocate the burn pool to some other thing. Be patient, people. Don't sell. This is just getting started. Yeah, I'm gonna bring up the screen in a little bit. It's funny because people are like, "Hey, it's down a little bit," and yes, it is down 2%. But from where we were, at the low point, it's interesting how far we've grown. I sold all my SHIB, KDA and ANC, and went all in on Lunic. Bought more at 0.0003. already up $5,000 since yesterday. Thanks to you, bro. Loved it from India. That's what I was talking about. This person's already up $5,000 from yesterday from buying at the absolute low. So you just have to find the right moment. I mean, it's tough to find the exact right moment, but if you can find a hard resistance point, or sorry, a hard support level, then you're good. If you can read the charts and understand how, if you're close to where the low is, then you should be able to make a decent amount of money. So that's great, Uday. Hopefully, I'm saying your name right. For basically making the $5,000. That's crazy. It's really good. How much coins can we burn monthly with only on-chain burn tax? It all depends what we do, right? We've seen levels, right, where I'm going to show you my screen. We've seen levels to where we go into, not my wallet, we go into Terra Station, and you're going to see levels where it's 903 million in volume, right? Or 500 million, or less than that, where it's 300 million. And we've seen days to where we see 2.3 billion, or 2.2 billion. Or we look at 14 days, we can see that's USTC. I was going to say we saw trillions. But basically, you're seeing a lot that go through here, right? You can see 2.5 or 2.85 trillion, or 3.13 trillion. So you have days to where you can see a massive amount. On these days, we can burn a hell of a lot. On these days, we burn less. We still burn some, but we burn less. It's going to be more burns than what we're doing right now when it comes to having, no offense to obviously Lunatics Token, Lunatic DAO, all these other places that are burning. They're just not burning as much as a burn tax would burn, which is understandable. The thing that you get from some of those plays is other things like reward structures as well, which is pretty interesting, especially in these times of need when they're this low. When the price is this low for Terra Luna Classic, I can gain rewards in Lunatics Token, and they're giving me more rewards because we're looking at a lesser price in Lunatics Token, or sorry, in Lunic. Looking better this morning. Last night was making me nervous. Glad we're moving in the right direction. Yeah, totally understand. Yeah, I actually was definitely interested in where things were going. Understand that I'm not buying anymore, right? Unless it goes down to a low where we see not only 4 zeros but maybe even 5 zeros. Unless it goes down to that point, I'm probably not going to stay on this, or sorry, I'm not going to buy anymore. But I have all my coins. I'm going to keep all my coins. I know where I'm going to sell at, because I've already made profit, and I'm sure other people have already made profit, and they're looking to hold as well. It still makes you a little nervous because you may go from $20,000 or $30,000 to, I don't know, $10,000, and it's like, I could have profited off of that. And yes, you could have. If you find the right moment, you can always make those moves. And this is what I do typically when I have my normal amount. So say if I have 44 million and I'm looking to make an investment at the low, I would buy $1,000 worth and then get out as I see that gain. So I would continue to trade a short-term trade when I still have these like more longer-term trades. Does that make sense? Hey Matt, looks like we're going up. Let's see how this unfolds. Italy salutes you. Thank you for being here. And I think we will see some positivity. I mean, what we saw from 8 p.m. yesterday, where the low was 0.00029, and then now where it is today, 0.00037 or 36, right? You can make a decent amount of money from there. Yeah, 3.7 is where we're at. You made a decent amount of money from there, just like Uday said. Um, $5,000 is amazing to make in one day. Yes. Now, Matt, I saw that 2 users came back to Lunic. That sounds like great news. You saw that 2 users came back to Lunic. Wait, what are you talking about here? Let me go to Twitter. Uh, let's see. Are these MEXC burns? We're seeing MEXC burns go through. You know, MEXC is up to 796 million. That's phenomenal. That's really good that they're making these moves. Obviously, we want to see the burn tax um, initiated. So I'm not sure what you mean by two users. I saw that two users came back to Lunic. That sounds like great news. I don't know what that is. Morning, Matt Donkey here. What? Two developers. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's phenomenal. I didn't see that. Good morning, Matt. You see, Yahoo News says Shib will have a burn in the new project. I mean, that's what they keep saying. I want to see it happen. I'm all for it. Look, I'm still holding my Shiba Inu. I'm all for it. I haven't given up on the project, and I don't think I really will give up on the project. If I do, it most likely would be half of my position rather than all of it. But I won't completely give up on the project. It's just something where maybe I see more potential short term than this short term, which I've never seen Shiba Inu as a short term play. I saw it as a long term play, um, and that was it. Do you have any tips on how I can buy Lunatics token living in Texas? Since I can't buy BNB here, not sure how else I can get it. Since you can't buy BNB or you can't buy like on the Binance network, because you can buy a lot of other things and trade through PancakeSwap. You can trade from Lunic to Lunatics token if you wanted to, but it has to be on the Binance network. And they're looking to I believe they're going to bridge over to the Terra network at some point. Do you think holding Luna Classic USD is worth it? In your opinion, is it better spent in normal Luna Classic? So it depends, right? If you think that we're gonna have the repeg happen, then yes, obviously it's worth it. But then you also need to understand what the vision is and what the path is, because if the path is for them to do swaps and completely create a new stable coin that ties to this or something, I that would be horrible for what you have because it's not going to grow your position at all. If you bought US USTC at the high point where I think it was at like 5 or 6 cents, that might not be the best situation either, right? You could have a better situation even where it is right now. But I would say for USTC, I'm holding a little bit of USTC in my Terra Station wallet, and I let it gather as much as I can. So with all of my rewards, I'm gathering USTC, and if I gather 10,000 coins, then I gather 10,000 coins. I do believe that this will have an impact and we'll get up to that level of a dollar, um, but only time will tell, right? I mean, technically, if I have USTC right now, I can buy a lot of Lunic. Not like a crazy amount, but I can buy a lot of Lunic compared to what USTC's price is, right? So if USTC gets to a dollar, you have a benefit. But if Lunic gets to a dollar, you have more of a benefit because it's at a lower price. Um, what do you think of Iris Protocol? I'll have to look into it. Somebody else asked a question and I missed it. I gotta go back. Let me. I don't see that. I don't see that position. I don't see that position. I don't know where it is. If you, because I don't, if it doesn't have it on CoinMarketCap, then I don't really check into it because I like all of the different detail on CoinMarketCap. Hey Matt, shout out to you. Much love. I remember losing my family and losing my family, and your streams got me through some lonely times. Just showing some love uh, to you, Holmes. Well, I'm sorry that you have to deal with all that. I'm glad that I can, provide some sort of comfort, when you do have lonely times. That's horrible. I've lost family members, and I know what you're going through. Um, and I don't know how you lost your family members, but I've lost family members every which way you can think of. So I most likely know what you're going through. Hopefully you get through everything, and I can be here to help you. But um, much love to you, and thank you for showing up in the stream. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for showing support to me, because it means the world to me. It really does. Matt, the Iris protocol is for. Oh, okay. Sorry. Lunicus supersonic speed. Iris Protocol is one of the developers who came back, and they are involved with compounding of burns. Could be a 2 to 3x the burns, and um, we are capable of. Um, Interesting. So I'm literally getting new news to this, so I have not looked into it yet. So I have no no thoughts on it. Once I do look into it, I'll make sure I jot it down. Um, Once I do fully look into it, we can definitely do that. Let me go ahead and here's protocol. Is this showing the wrong screen the whole time? Guys, you didn't even tell me this is showing the wrong screen the whole time. How is it even showing this screen? It's the wrong screen literally the whole entire time, and no one has said a damn thing. Let me. How is it even showing that screen? That screen is not even on my list. Um, Let me see. I have no idea why it was showing that screen, because that screen is not on my list at all. We tried to tell you. Well, thank you for telling me. No one told me in like I was reading all of the super chats because they were coming through faster, so I had to read the super chats and then go through it. Jesus, man. God damn, I said it 4 times. That's the problem, is that if I read super chats that are coming through, like buying just to tell you to fix the screen. Okay. I'm just like 12 minutes too late. Um Hey mate, hope you're doing great. What's your take on Binance and the burns? Um so for Binance, I believe that they're gonna do off-chain burns. I just think they're obviously waiting for on-chain burns to happen, right? If on-chain burns happen, then Binance will look at it and start evaluating the situation. And CZ has come out and said that, well, kind of hinted to that, but has said the beginning of that. Once the on-chain burns happen, and then obviously you add the rest of the sentence. Once on-chain burns happen, off-chain burns will be either reevaluated or looked into or done, right? I feel like we're not going to have a lot of time to talk through all this stuff, because I am going to have to get Harper ready in like 30 minutes. Why are we on Lunatics token? All right, so yeah, I was trying to show you this screen. So where we were earlier, or technically yesterday at 8:14 p.m., where we were at 29.00029, and where we are today, or right now, is phenomenal, right? That's massive growth from that level, because you can see basically 30% increase from here. So once it gets to 8 p.m., and hopefully we hover around this area, if not more, we're going to look at least 30%. If we hover around this area, it's going to be at least 30%. If we increase more, it's going to be more than that. I'm pretty sure we're going to see, a strong resistance around 4,000. That's typically what we see. But yeah. So yeah, if you guys haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. It does help out. We have 717 people that are here, and if you could hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Anybody that's on, um, let's go to Twitch. Anybody that's on Twitch, I appreciate you being here as well. We got 9 viewers over here on Twitch. Good morning, Leotis. I finally staked my Lunic and I'm enjoying the rewards. That alone can make you gains. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what people underestimate about staking. What's crazy is like every time you're gaining rewards, like if I go through my Terra station, right? Um, every time you're gaining rewards, um, you're basically gaining whatever that amount is to $1. So if I have my rewards at $6,400 or 6,400 Lunic, if it's up to $1, I'm gaining $6,400. Now I understand how that can be taken because I'm not going to have $8 million while it's at $1. I'm not going to hold $8 million in here if it is at that level. Um, but what I will have is maybe like 500,000 that's staked over here, and I'll be able to gain, hopefully hundreds of dollars a day. Time differences are so weird. Shout out from California. It's almost 4 a.m. I apologize for anybody that's on the West Coast or just a different time zone. Um, it's morning here. It could be night over there. I'm not saying in California. I'm saying wherever other people are. I know California is 3 hours behind. Hey Matt, I've been watching you and Ben subscribe since the bottom of Luna Crash. I've made over 4,000 4K profits so far, and I think this is just the beginning, bro. Much love. Well, that's amazing to hear. I love to hear about stories to where you make profit, and hopefully more people can have more of those stories because I understand how people can lose money, but hopefully you understand the ability to make money in the short term, and then in the, I guess, longer term, not really like long term, but the longer term than short term, so like middle ground, a couple of months or so, which would still be classified as short term, you can make even more money, right? Because that's what investing is all about. Is about making money. Is about you know becoming financially free. All the things you want to do. Has 99% burn ever happened with any other crypto? Has 99% burn happened with any other crypto? One that was popular or one that wasn't popular? Because there were some that, they burned off their own supply to bring it down, but those were like coins that didn't really have any volume. But they burned off their own coin, not based on transactions. There's also been no transactional burn coins that have had the popularity that Lunic has had. Um, so no, I would say if you're looking at big coins, if you're looking at popular names, no, you haven't had that happen. There have been a number of coins that were in the conversation of having burns, obviously Shiba Inu being one of them, but not being controlled by anybody. It can't be done. You also had like Safe Moon that has a burn mechanism but doesn't have the popularity. So, you can't burn enough if you're not going through the transactions. So no, I guess the short answer would be no. Long answer would be what I just gave you. 9 p.m. here in Australia. Well, um, good thing is I don't know when you usually go to sleep, but I probably stop streaming when you're about to go to sleep. Maybe. Um, Lunic is following a descending channel pattern today, 4 hour chart. All I know is if you look at the short term movement is creating higher highs and higher lows. So I like seeing that. Yeah, I guess you can look at it that way. You know, uh, you're creating higher highs, or sorry, lower highs, lower lows. Just a simple um, look at it. We want to see it eventually break this point, but who knows what will happen? We have catalysts that are coming up. So right now, if this continues to drop down, that's good for the burns, right? I'm happy if it does come back down to like 25 or 20. Um, and if people can find a way to maybe make that move there, or if it even comes down lower, I will be insanely happy if it comes down to those lows. And the reason why is because it makes it better for the long term. Short term, it may not look great for your position. For my position, it's fine either way because there's no way in hell it's getting down to the point where I bought. And if it does, I'm guaranteed that I'm going to buy more. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Um, but if it does go low enough, it creates the ability to burn so much more with a lower price. And I'm all for that. While other people are not for it, I'm all for it. Hi, Matt. I sold 70% of Lunic profits and bought Luna 2. For what reason? Where's Luna 2 at right now? Luna 2 must have come back, right? I saw it at like 5. Was it yesterday? And currently it's at 4.4. So hopefully people have made some profit from where they were, um, but it's starting to descend. It's starting to come back, and you're seeing it at a level of $500 million market cap. You still see 1.5 billion that flows into it, um, but I don't know if that's the play. Putting it into Luna 2. I've had Luna 2, and I had Luna 2 at a low point, like $2. So I was able to make some money, and I still have Luna 2. I still have $10 worth, um, but I basically sold 90% of my Luna 2, and now I think that's sitting in my account. So, hey, you know what? I gotta move. I forgot. I gotta move money, but I'll move money later. I just gotta remind myself. Let me remind myself real quick. There's protocol. Move money. All right, we got 944 people that are on YouTube, guys. Hit the like button if you can. Hit the subscribe button. I know in about 20 to 25 minutes, I'm going to have to get up and go take Harper to her bus stop, get her ready, take her to her bus stop. I enjoy that walk with her, just talking to her about what she's going to do at school and what she's learned at school. I love that walk from here to there. So I was upset with the fact that they put the bus stop on the opposite street instead of over here because it would be so easy to not have to take that walk. You can literally just walk outside. That's where it was last year. But I like taking that walk with her. And probably not in the winter, but I like taking the walk now. Let's get Mr. Beast on board Luna to the moon. I'm sure he is. He's just not saying it. He can't do something like that because Mr. Beast has too much influence on the markets. I'm sure he does invest in crypto. I'm sure he's heavily invested in a lot of things that he just doesn't talk about. Hey, Matt, bought in at the high of 0.00066, and I have 5 million, but then Voyager pulled pulled the crap they did. Only store in a cold wallet now, 2.5 with almost 3 frozen on Voyager. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Voyager. I really don't. Whether you're going to see, a buyout and then things are completely normal with your accounts because whoever like does buy it out takes on all of those customers. As long as crypto is running, it's a understandable buy and it's a good buy to tell you the truth. They just need to relax with putting all of their money into one investment. Matt, chair segment of the show is gaining viewers, so don't worry. You have a great personal assistant. Well, thank you. I appreciate the chair for being here, you know. I appreciate it. It's very comfortable. Hey Matt, are you you are such a good daddy to your girls. Your girls are lucky to have you, and they don't even know it. Well, I hope they feel that way when they grow up because right now they get annoyed with how much I show my love to them. And I'm sure it's just going to get worse. But eventually, when they get very old or older, maybe like 20, they'll appreciate it, I'm sure. But I can't, I don't want to picture them getting older. They're still going to be little babies. Good morning, Matt. Would you consider Lunic an inverse head and shoulders today? I'm looking at the 3 minute chart. Let's see. 3 minute chart. There's so many ways of looking at this. Uh, See, it does look like it. Yes, it does look like. I always like the points to match up, the low points to match up. So it does look like inverse head and shoulders here. Um, but we're seeing if you're looking at the 3 minute chart, you can see a hard resistance away from 4,000. So expect that obviously only to run to a certain point. It's creating a lower high. I don't like that. Um, but yeah, that's what I would see. What I do see here. But there's so many ways of looking at it. This is what's crazy is like I can see different patterns in so many areas. And even going into Lunic, you can see, or going into Weeble, if you have Weeble, this would give you a full breakdown of, exactly like where the resistances are by the like 200 EMA or whatever moving average you're looking at. Anyone have observe anything when Lunic pump? Luna 2 also pumps. Why is it so? So anything that's related to Luna in any way, even though they're not on the same chain, anything that's related to Luna will still move. So USTC will move. You may even see things that just find a way to impact Lunic or on the outside of Lunic looking in, but have an effect on Lunic. Maybe like Lunatics token that also can move, right? So anything that has a tie to Lunic will run, usually, if you're seeing a massive pump. Matt, can you compare Lunic burns to SHIB burns? So in percent, so Lunic burns have been way more than SHIB burns by percentage, because if you're looking at SHIB, I think they've burned what 100, like it's got to be less than 100 billion. Let me go to their Twitter. Or what is it? Shiba Swap. Let's go to Shiba Swap and we're going to go to the burns. I'll bring it over to the screen in a little bit. When it does load, we'll go to the burn portal and it'll show us how much we have there. So yeah, last time I checked, we were at like 60 billion, and we've burned a total of 63 billion. We don't really see much that's flowing through here, or as much as there. I burned 133 million, and yeah, the rewards that I have are basically nothing, right? I didn't collect any rewards. You're supposed to get rewards with this, and you get no rewards for burning your Shiba Inu. Um, so yeah. Um, are we burning more in Lunic? We're burning way more in Lunic. If we see 63 billion here compared to the total, um, you know, what 600 trillion, we're looking at more in comparison with the billions or 3 billion that we've burned to the 6 trillion that we have there. So I think it's close actually, but I think Lunic will have more of an impact. And the funny thing is, Shiba Inu, we've had all of this time to do this, to implement new projects, to burn. Lunic, this happened since May. May was the crash. People were talking about it at the end of May. People were talking about it in the beginning of June, and we could see the potential. We could see things starting to form. With Shiba Inu, we still don't see an actual burn method form. And this is all, everything that's burnt is by the community, right? And everything that's burnt from Lunic is by the community. And they did it in a matter of, 4 months versus however many months, or 3 months, however many months it took for Shiba Inu to even get to this point, which is like 2 years. Matt, did you make or can you make a staking video? I want to stake some Lunic, but I'm scared to screw up something and lose it. So yeah, I have made a staking video, but it all depends which way you're going, right? So where do you have your Lunic? If you have your Lunic in MetaMask, it's a difficult situation to where I look at it as I don't want to bridge, because if I bridge, I will lose my Lunic. I've already lost 10,000 of it. But then if I find a way to do it a different way, so like if I sell my Lunic for BNB or Dogecoin or something, send that Dogecoin or BNB over to crypto.com to where I can now convert that into cash, or try and convert that, which you won't be able to convert it directly into Lunic, but you convert it into cash, then buy um, Lunic from that cash, and then you send it over to Terra Station. So it should be as simple as that, which sounds more complicated, but should be as simple as that. Guys, we got about 10 minutes until I have to go up there and help this young lady get dressed. Real talk, do you think the price of Luna saw its low and never again past 0.0003? I can't say that never again will it get to that level, right? We don't know how the markets will react. And right now we're seeing sort of a resistance away from that 4,000 level. So pulling back to some of these levels of 33, probably holding around those levels as strong supports, 33, 32. But then it definitely can have a possibility of dropping lower again. Don't think that it will never have a possibility. I wouldn't say that it will never get back there. Um, and to tell you the truth, I hope that it does. Other people do not. I hope that it does, because I want to see more burns that are happening rather than the price increase and have it just skyrocket right now. Why don't you talk about glowstone projects also created to help burn a Lunic? It's in pink sale today and ready to be launched on Pancake. Because there's already something that's out there that burns Lunic, and I'm a supporter of that in a big way. Because one, they burn Lunic, and also they have the popularity. They have 8,000 people that are holding the position. When you talk about Lunatic's token, you have a 2% burn, you have 4% reward, so it's giving you everything that you want. Um, but all it needs is just more and more popularity, and it's already got that kind of head start, to where it was created. People resonated with it, and I think they can still resonate with it as we see maybe only the on-chain burns happening. What's up with all these super Christians on YouTube preaching shib? Anybody else notice this? No, I didn't notice it. What utility on Terra Classic? The imprisonment is coming back to your thoughts about it. I don't have thoughts about it. I don't have thoughts on utility yet, because I want to see us get to a point to where we have a chance to actually have utility back. So I'm worried about the burns right now before we worry about how utility can affect it. Once we see the burns in place and we know the path, then we can have all these conversations on exactly what the utility will be for Terra Luna Classic, the Terra or the Classic chain, USTC, all of that stuff. But right now, the focus should be on getting this down to a reasonable supply so that the algorithm can just be turned back on. And then we can worry about really all that stuff. But again, once we see the path, I think we'll be able to easily discuss that. Um, it would be nice to see Luna Devs took over SHIB. Yeah, but nobody controls SHIB. That's the problem. And there would have to be a massive amount of support, or a massive amount of people that are also invested in SHIB that are in Lunic. And I don't know if that's true. Matt, thanks for the videos. Been following you since the crash and bought in at 5 zeros. One question: how can we burn down to 1 billion or 20 billion Luna coins when far more is staked? So once you get to certain prices, people will unstake. There's a lot of people that stake all of their position and they want to sell at certain places, but they have to unstake. So those same people are going to unstake their position, and when they do, they're going to look to sell whatever they have. Now, will they look to unstake everything? Probably not. Will they unstake a portion of it? Most likely. And as time goes on, as different prices will hit, you will see more and more people that will take their money out. Think of it as an example with me. Staking is my last piece that I plan on taking out, right? I have 44 million. 44 million will all the rest of it, so 36 million will be sold by the time we hit a dollar. Um, then we get to a point to where it maybe pulls back from a dollar or whatever. I'm probably going to sell, 1 million of this, pull 1 million out, and then if I can gauge the system to invest in lower, I will take a portion of whatever I gain and invest it in lower. So I will take 1 million out of this, sell it at a certain point, 2 million out of it, sell it at a certain point. So just like I have my strategy, which I don't know where it is. Let me bring this up really quick, and let me open a file. Let me go back here. Let me go home, open a file, the potential. So crypto potential spreadsheet. um, I can basically see that above a dollar, once it's at a dollar, I'll sell 5 million and I'll have 5 million that's left. So once it gets close to there, I'm probably going to unstake 3 million of that in order to have 10 million to sell there, and then I'll have 5 million here, which I will unstake 2 million because I know I'm going to sell that at $10 or sell it in between. So it really all depends. But I think what people will do is unstake and sell. Hey Matt, thanks for the heads up for Lunic token rewards. It accumulates Lunic really fast. It does. It does. Lunatic's token rewards does accumulate Lunic very quickly. And just imagine if they had more volume, how much Lunic we would accumulate. It'd be so much more. What effect millions slash billions get sold at a dollar going to have? What effect will million slash billions sold at a dollar have? Um, Quite a big of an impact. So you're going to see a pullback, 100%. That's why my level of investing, or my level of profit taking is usually before the significant points. So the significant points are around 25 cents, well, 1 cent, 10 cents, 25 cents. You're looking at 50 cents, 75, a dollar, right? So with all of those points, I will sell beforehand. I will sell before that point hits. Everybody else is waiting for it to hit a dollar to get a smooth million and all of that. But by the time it hits a dollar, I'll already have 16 million total dollars from that. So I'm not looking to just take my 44 million or 36 million that's free and wait for a dollar. I'm selling it all at different points. So for those significant points, you're going to see pullbacks from those levels. So 1 cent, you're going to see a pullback from. 10 cents, you're going to see a pullback from. 25 cents, you're going to see a pullback from. So most likely I will sell before then. 20 cents. I'll sell at, you know, 5 cents or so. Um, I'll sell at 70 cents. I'll sell at 45 cents. I'll sell at 85 cents, right? So those levels or I'm selling at 90 technically. And when it does hit a dollar, then I'll sell even more. So um, that's the way that I think about it. And I think it will have an effect because it will pull back pretty hard. You see it. I see it all the time. Um, Big Whale's buying Luna too. Yeah. Oh, that's smart. I need to change my exit strategy price. Yeah, I think what a lot of people are going to see is they're going to wait till it hits a dollar, like everybody else did for Dogecoin, and they didn't take any profit. You see it all the time to where it hits 76 cents, 80 cents, and then it will pull back hard. Um, and then you're like, oh man, I should have gotten out at 76 cents, but you missed your opportunity, right? And that's where you have to have multiple selling points. Now, will you sell all of it there? I don't know where you plan to sell all of it, but for me, I have significant points marked on my exit strategy spreadsheet. Matt, is there any chance that the burn tax will be retroactive for at least a month? Retroactive? No. There's no way it'll be retroactive to burn that much because it has to collect from the transactions, and you can't collect from previous transactions that already happened. Matt, thanks. I've have you Have you done those charts for other cryptocurrencies and what gains you have made? Uh, uh, Best of all in one currency. Thanks. So, have I done those for other cryptocurrencies? I typically will just have that in mind because typically I'm not looking for something of this magnitude. So most likely, like if I'm looking at Farmcoin, right? I made money from certain levels, and I know what levels I want to take, but it's only like 4 levels versus 10. I don't need to make a spreadsheet unless you're looking to make hundreds of thousands or millions like that. Um, which is not really a, a situation that comes up often. But I can tell you that there's a lot of plays that I have. Like if I go into my assets on Coinbase, there's a lot of plays that I have to where I just invested. If you are on the Patreon, if you're not on the Patreon, then you don't know about this, and this is news. But I just recently invested in Krillcoin, and bought in with $1,000, or sorry, $500, and bought 1,000 more. Now I plan on taking that 1,000 and selling it at 80 cents. But then I also have another 1,000 that I plan on selling at around $2, $1.80, $2, something like that. So basically, I'm looking to take profit a lot sooner, but then also have my long term play into it. And if I make money and it comes back down to 40, I can reinvest some of the money that I made back into there and gain the 2,000 again and just do it over and over and over again. Do you know what I mean? So, and then when I hit my long term play to where Krill Coin goes up to maybe $5, I can take out another 1,000. Maybe when it goes to $10 or $20, I can take out another 1,000. So obviously, I can gain quite a bit from just this position and see it pull back from those levels. But I take profit from the moment I see it double. I take profit, triple. I take profit. I have different levels that I'm going to take those, but it's only 10 right now. Maybe 10 moves, or technically maybe only like 4 or 5 moves right now. And it's not as many as you see with Terra Luna Classic, to where we're looking at how many times where I'm going to sell 17 times. So, and maybe even more than that, depending if we see pullbacks, like at 45 cents. If we see a pullback down to about 25 cents, of course, I'm going to take whatever I made at 45 cents and take some of it and throw it back in there. I mean, it makes sense, right? I'm going to gain basically the same amount of coins that I sold at this point if it goes back down to 25 cents. And I basically take a half of that, or maybe $1 million or something, and throw it back in there. I'll gain the 5 million coins back while still pocketing $1 million out of it. I mean, it's a win-win. That's if that happens. Now, I know these numbers and these gains are like far-fetched, they're a little ridiculous, but it definitely can happen. Uh, Exchanges are going to start burning today, or is it the 21st? It should be the 20th where they start. Well, the 21st, yeah. It should be around the 20th or 21st for it to start. It's not today. I know the 12th was in a lot of people's minds as like the implementation date. Um, but that's not happening right now. 20th is the date. Richard, thank you for that super chat. Um, I just think we should all be grateful for Luna T and Lunic devs, and all their hard work. And a special thanks to you for mentioning the coin on one morning, which grabbed my attention. Yeah, I mean, 100%. I think once you get the like you shine light on a project, as long as other people can see potential as well, I think um, everybody can benefit from it. It's if you see potential in it. I'm not going to tell you to absolutely invest in something. I'm going to tell you that it looks like a great project to me and what I'm going to get into and the reasons that I'm going to get into it, and then hopefully maybe you do a little bit more research into it and what your situation will be, what your profit taking strategy will be, what your profit to loss ratio will be, all of those different things to make money in the end. So yeah, I appreciate that super chat. I appreciate you being here, every morning, everybody being here. I really do appreciate it. But guys, I'm gonna have to go get Harper ready. So um, yeah, make sure you have a second. If you do have a second, please hit the like button. I would love to come back to 1,000 likes. And I'm gonna put up the chart minute by minute to see how things do roll. Let me see if I can bring up something. Give me a second. Let me see if I can bring up Lunatic, because then I can bring up this position. Let me lock this, and yeah, we'll bring up, so we'll be able to see things that move here. From India, thank you for that super chat. I greatly appreciate it. I really do. I'm gonna go get Harper ready. Hopefully you enjoy the screen in the background and see Lunatic move. But I'll probably be back somewhere right around 8 o'clock because I drop her off at 7:55. So, um, yeah. Yes, we get to talk to the chair. Well, sorry that I'm not interesting and the chair is more interesting. That's sad that's the case. I'm gonna play one ad and then hopefully you guys can hit the like button and I'll get to 1,000 likes before I get back. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Take care of the stream. Anyone care to answer where Matt is for the 100th time? Matt is on duty. Super dad. Yes. Where is he? He left the building. Come on. You all know. What does that mean? Welcome back, Matt. Welcome. Welcome to me. Welcome to me. Drop off was simple. Pretty simple today. By the end of the day, we'll reach 0.0006. Um, I mean, it doesn't look like it's trending upward right now. I mean, if we're looking at the last, maybe 12 hours, I guess, and maybe we could see things that are pushing up from these low points of 29. um, but hopefully that's the case. Hopefully, when the burns happen, I want to see the price push up after the burns become a huge thing, become a huge deal. Damn, he's back. Yep, I'm back. Hey, Matt. Italy was waiting for you. Well, thank you for waiting. I appreciate all the people that were waiting. The 700 people almost came back to 1,000 likes. We're currently at 919. If you haven't had a chance to hit the like button, please do so. um, just bought more Bitgert, Luna, and Bryce. Matt, you better pay your share. Good. Yeah, sure. I will. I will. Yeah, I was down a few on, but not into profit. I'm still up, but I was happy to something else happen. Happy to wake up today and see it rebounding. How'd you go? Getting to the bus stop? It was pretty simple. We just walked. I love taking that walk with Harper, and just talking to her about what she's gonna do in the day, and what she's learned the day before, and it's just great having that conversation. It's different outside having that conversation than it is inside. Because inside, it's always like I'm ready to play with my tablet, or I'm ready to watch TV, or play with this, or whatever. And while we're walking to the bus stop, it's literally just us walking and talking, and it's it might be my favorite part of the day. 666 on the chat. Uh, thank you, Matt Chair for wait. Thank you, Matt's Chair, for answering my question. Well, I'm glad. I'm new here. Well, thank you for joining. I appreciate you being here. Anyone else from Australia here? I'm not. I'm from Pennsylvania, Reading, Pennsylvania. Um, yeah, Sly. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Dad duties come first. Welcome back. Thank you for saying that. They definitely do. Hip thrust that like button. It seems like you watch Leon Lush a lot because I watch him as well, and he says that all the time. Hip thrust that like button. I believe when the burn started in 20th, burn started on the 20th, the price will reach up so high, but I'm not sure everybody will uh, start sale, and it will hit down again. Um, so I do think that we will. I think we will see an increase because we will see the supply decrease so much. But on the 20th, it's only the on-chain burns that are going to be happening, unless Binance comes out and says, you know what, as soon as the on-chain burns happen, we're going to see off-chain burns that happen as well. But from what I understand, he's trying to wait for the on-chain burns to happen, and then he will reevaluate the situation and maybe look into the off-chain burns. MEXC, MEA, AMA with Vegas and Edward Kim about Lunic. When is that? MEXC, AMA. Sorry about the coughing. I don't have any water. MEXC. Maybe they have an announcement on. Oh, wait, there's something happening right now? Oh. All right. Well, I'm going to join this space to see what they're talking about. I won't be able to talk on here because I'm not on my phone, but I will join this space and we can hear what they are
sort of
discussing.
self-organize themselves around some different ideas on how to revive the blockchain. I got interested and involved then. I met Vegas and some of the other tools at the time. Since then, is past 4 months.
Do you guys want to hear this? Let me know if you guys want to hear it. When I gains, I'm only taxed once, even if I sit in my bank for another year. When you take gains, are you only taxed once? Yes, you're only taxed once you take that gain. Yes, you want to hear it? Okay.
Happy to talk about. We're happy to be here with Mexi, who have voluntarily implemented the burn tax off chain. So thank you for that.
Nice. Thank you, Edward. Yeah, definitely we're going to get into some really detailed questions over here from our side and as well as from the community side. Let's get started. But before we do that, just wanted to give out a special reminder for our audience over here. For those who hasn't participated in our Gleam task, please do that while we're doing the space over here, because the password of the Gleam task will be revealed after this right in
It
the
provides
by the end
information,
of the
yes,
space. All right.
but
And
I
just
don't
to
know if it
give
would provide information
some
for
of the
people.
background of today's space, so many of you can definitely notice by now, Luna Classic has skyrocketing, but as Vega stated, they are just bringing the value back as it is. And right now, Terra Classic restarted staking and launched at 1.2% burning tax, as Edward mentioned. And this move definitely peaked the Luna Classic to almost, I think it's over $7 yesterday or a couple of days ago. And it was on the August 27th. Terra Classic resumed staking and governance. And recently, Terra community has passed proposals of 3568 and
He's talking about two
4159,
different Terra class,
which
or he's talking about Terra
introduced
Classic and
this
Terra 2.0.
1.2% tax fee from Luna Classic and USTC on chain transaction to burn and drop the total amount down to 10 billion at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong over here. But yeah, well, as we as Maxi Global over here is the first platform, also the first centralized exchange supports this burning proposal, and we have by today is the we
What's
burn
their
the
volume
most
look like?
Luna right next to right after the community. So we are honored to have Vegas and Edward here to talk about some of the questions that we have over here and reveal some of the details to our audiences today. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you, Mike.
MEXC has $10 million worth of
All
volume.
right,
That's pretty
let's
good.
get
If
into
they're
our
if,
first
if they're voluntarily
topic
implementing
over
this
here.
burn
So,
at $10 million, that's
why was
good.
this Luna Classic 1.2 tax burning proposal was proposed in the beginning, and what kind of problem is it trying to solve?
Okay, just a disclaimer is I cannot turn off my mic, so because I'm scared that Twitter will kick me out from this.
That's all right.
So the proposal on the years and years ago seems like that, but yeah, 4 months ago was the proposal that make more sense because the community saw a big problem that was. When Luna V2 at that time was just Luna crashed, yeah, with all of that, the DPEG and the DPEG of USDC, TFL decided to open to do a new token. The community was not very happy with that, and they saw a solution that was a solution of instead of opening a new chain, why not to try to save this one? The big problems that the community
Right.
surprised right away was one was a depeg, of course, but another one was the over minting of coins. So from one day, if I'm not mistaken, was 300 million coins, and the next day was almost 7 trillion coins in the market. Of course, that no market can support that, and the whole project fall. This was solved by the community, and the community has won, passed the proposal of the 1.2%. Challenges on this. I reckon that Edward has a lot to talk about this on inside of the code. Outside of the code, is not easy, of course, because you guys that are running an exchange, it doesn't make a lot of sense to increase the taxes. Normally, the users, they go to the exchange that has less
I don't
taxes, but
understand what
just
you
keep
mean,
in mind that
James.
nothing on this is normal. This was never done before. Trying to save a chain like we are doing with a group of volunteers was never done before as well. We are being pioneers in a lot of things. And this being said, I really have to say thank you for you guys to be the lead on this, and voluntarily doing the 1.2% off chain. That is showing your true colors to other exchanges as well. And with your success, others, I believe, that will follow as well.
Most definitely. Yeah, Edward, did you have
Yeah.
something to share?
Sure. Maybe I can just elaborate a little bit on the reason why this tax came about. So if you're not familiar with the algorithmic stablecoin UST, the connection between UST
Can I ask some questions? My phone
and
will
Luna
not allow
is
me
a
to
very
access my
tight
mic
one, because
on Twitter Spaces.
so
I don't know why.
so typically when you buy into like a coin or you buy into something, the price will rise. But because UST needs to be pegged at $1, what happens is when people bought into UST, UST could not go above $1, right? Otherwise it would depeg, or it could not go under. So what would happen is when people bought into UST, you would deflate Luna, right? So the price of Luna would go up, the supply would go down. When people started selling out of UST, people started selling out of UST, what would happen is that Luna will inflate in order to keep the price of UST at 1. And so when UST faltered and slightly depegged, we're not really sure what happened, but maybe it was like a loss of confidence and everyone started pulling out of UST. And then trillions of Luna were minted, and then TFL decided to do a new chain. They called it Luna. They renamed Luna to the original Luna to Luna Classic, and so that's where we are now, where we had a hyperinflation event on Luna Classic. And so, I mean, sort of logically speaking, if you inflate a coin, the best way is to then burn the supply. And so that's what we're trying to do with the 1.2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely working from the way I'm seeing over here. As we all had, I mean, not only I believe not only the old Luna holder had a really structured impact by the incident earlier, but it is definitely somehow a kind of impact to the whole blockchain or the crypto industry as well. So what you guys are doing are definitely has never been done before, but from the way I see it, it's definitely working right now, and a lot of people are looking up
About
to you
20%
guys
reserve. I don't
what you guys
understand how
are
that is.
acting right now. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, so the burn on chain is likely to go live in the next couple days. I would say what was really like a critical moment was that August 26th moment. Essentially, what had happened was that the blockchain was basically centralized on TFL, which
A notification when I get back from doing this. I'm just listening.
on the blockchain, and the validators, of course, had to accept code in order for it to be run on the chain. And they were very hesitant to accept any code outside of TFL, which, you know, it makes sense. That's just how everything was going before. And so the fact that we, the community, and big props to Vegas for this, we, the community, were able to rally around a community-based software and get that installed on the validators and live. That was sort of a turning point here to the revival, I think. Now it's like the will of the community is the one that ultimately happened.
$2.
Nice, sounds good. Yeah, I mean, from Maxi side, like I mentioned, we did have a lot of old Luna holder or trader back then when it happened. The earlier incident, we
When did I
got
buy Luna?
actually we actually
Point
got a lot
zero
of
zero zero zero
requests from
zero
our community as well, and we actually had
06.
a couple
6 zeros, I
meetings,
think.
and
5 or 6 zeros.
community rose up this question: why not? Try to having this burning proposal merge with the Luna community. So that's what we did. We were the first centralized exchange to support this, and we actually did a little bit earlier on ourselves as well. And so according to what Edward just said, it was led by Vegas. In fact, we listened and we act. So here you guys are, right?
Yeah, that is
Has
you
a
guys are putting
new
too much
video
pressure on
throwing
me.
shade at
No,
folks buying
I think
Lunic. Any thoughts? Who is
the whole
that?
community did the biggest role of all.
Hayoshi?
That was maintaining united, you know, um,
Who's
and
Hayoshi?
respecting that
Shoshi.
this was never done, and we are still creating a team to organize all of this. Edward didn't sleep for a lot of days, just trying
Man.
to test everything and organize everything to make sure that the code will work properly. So props for Ed is amazing. And I believe that the what Ed said, 26th of August was the day that everything changed on the classic and even on the other cryptos as well, because now people know that this is possible to do. Project is not dead just because someone says that it's dead. If the community believes on that project, at any time it can be rescued. So I believe that others are going to do as we are doing at the moment. Keeping this in mind as well, I believe that what we did is not even the biggest thing that we are planning to do in the future. But of course, that will be is a big story. But a lot of things are being thinking to do on this chain. Is not just the burn. The burn is something that is needed because yeah, we have close to 7 trillion coins on the market. That number has to come down one way or another. And this proposal, in my opinion, was what the community wanted to see fulfill, and it seems that everyone is happy with that. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on my personal opinion, this should have happened in the beginning.
I think there will be a resistance before
I mean, earlier or later, you guys were doing it.
0.075.
So, hooray to you guys.
You're missing a zero in all those numbers.
And well,
There's 3 zeros right now.
around to the next topic, I believe some of audience or the community over here might be wondering what is Terra classic text burning, and also why can it help the token rising? Do you guys mind get into a little bit detailed explanation on that?
Yeah, I can take this. So sort of referencing back to what I had said before, when you have a hyperinflationary event where the value, the total supply of the Luna coin went from, I think, only a couple 100 million to to 7 trillion, what happens is it completely devalues everybody else's coin, right? So when that inflation happened, I think everyone essentially wanted to reverse the process, and to reverse the inflationary, you need to be deflationary. In that case, what you have to do is some sort of burn of the coin. And so, what was really spectacular is that everyone was willing to chip in. It wasn't like they were like the community was looking to one entity, like for example, looking to TFL to say, we're going to burn a huge supply of our coin so that you guys can benefit. Essentially, the community said, you know what, everyone will shoulder the burden equally. So we're all willing to chip
Bone
in
is
just
really
a little
running.
bit, and that little bit was that 1.2 in order to
For what reason?
to make the coin deflationary. And the way that we implemented it on chain was that any transaction, any transaction like wallet to wallet or wallet to exchange or exchange off the exchange withdrawal to your wallet to Terra Station, any of those types of transactions will incur a 1.2% on top of the amount that's being sent. So if you do send like 100 to somebody else, that 100 is going to show up in their wallet, but the amount of gas that you are required to pay would be, 100 times the 1.2% plus the initial gas fee. And so that immediately gets burned. That tax that we charge gets burned, and then it reduces the total supply. And so this also applies to things like message executes on chain, which are like the smart contracts. But any of the staking and the delegation, governance proposals, and all of those types of transactions, those are not taxed. So mostly
This is
just
what we want to
the
see right
sends
here.
on the amounts.
This is what we want to see.
Let's
Just
see, definitely.
exchanges that are
Well,
burning, exchanges, right? I can't wait.
one
Like, look at
second.
that, 51
Vegas, are you
million.
able to speak? Just wondering over here because you said you
Yeah,
had. Oh, okay. There you go.
I
All
am,
right.
but
56
it's
million.
going on and off.
35
Yeah,
million.
just making sure that you get to speak out your opinion. All right. Did you have something to add over here
71 million.
on
No,
this
So
topic?
I think I basically said it all. Is what it is. The
Yep.
burning
closing in on
decrease
Lunatics token.
the amount that was not supposed to be there. And with that, the price will be reflected as well. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, I mean, there comes to the next question though, which is I believe really it's really important over on this tax burning proposal. So, what kind of challenges or on the other hand, gains did this proposal encounter by far? Because I understand that it hasn't been not just
Just
been
found out
around
about
like
them.
one,
Americans are
two,
in
or
trouble.
3 weeks. So, are there any challenges or gains that you guys are facing at the moment?
Yeah, one for example is the off-chain tax. So that is a voluntary thing that we cannot force anyone to have. So like you guys, you did it voluntarily, and that's amazing. Another thing that might be a
And
challenge
before everybody. So
um, is regarding the traffic on chain. Um, Imagine it could be expensive for the on chain movements as well, because you are putting a tax on top of all of this all of these on-chain transactions. This could be a problem. It was talked a lot inside of our
I'll wait.
organization and outside. Seems that the community is not very worried with that at the moment. And to be fair,
Wish I could
if
pause
something
this.
goes wrong, uh, a week later of we implement this, we can just bring it back or decrease the amount or increase it or whatever. So is the risk seems small compared to the reward that we can have.
Most definitely, yeah. Well, I'd love to hear about Edward's opinion on this topic though, since you're the dev over here in the community?
Well,
If it goes to
you know,
$100,
in the
I'll officially be a
beginning,
primary
right?
donor
So the
of
community had
presidential
actually
run for
voted for Vegas's
2024.
proposal months ago, I believe. And the reason why we had so much difficulty is because
CBDC token?
staking and delegation was disabled during the DPEG, and it's not. So there's a couple reasons why that's an issue. One is because, first of all, Luna Classic is a proof of stake blockchain, right? So when you disable staking, it essentially kills the chain, and there's no opportunity for it to recover. And then so also when you delegate or stake your coins, what happens is then you have a voice in the governance process, right? So if you can't delegate, you can't stake, then you can't vote, and that was also a very critical problem in why it took so long for us
Luna goes to
to actually get anything
$10,000, I
implemented on
will
chain, because we
buy
had to fix governance
everything.
first before the true voice of the community could come through. And so it took miracle after miracle to actually get to this point. And I think that's really been reflected in the community effort that we're seeing, in the community rallying behind us. Just the fact that, you know, we continue to deliver and upgrade this chain. In terms of the tax itself, so right, so I guess the major difficulty on the development side that we saw was the fact that no matter we actually had this code done in like a week, maybe 2 weeks, but it took 4 months to actually get it onto the blockchain. So that was a big hurdle. And again, like any change that you make, you have to be, I think, in terms of like the code, right? Maybe it took a week. Maybe there's like, I don't know, 20 lines of code or something. But in terms of integration and testing and making sure everything works as it's supposed to, especially on a distributed, ledger, it's a very time-consuming and difficult thing. Our market cap is, I don't know, 2 billion or something in that order. And if you mess something up, that's a lot of pressure there. So we wanted to make absolutely sure what we had done would not break anything.
Right.
And then in terms of the code itself, we were pretty fortunate in that aspect, just because there was an existing tax in the system. It was called a stability tax. It was supposed to be used on the stablecoin UST, and so that tax was there. It was disabled in January of 2022. But what we were able to do is repurpose that existing stability tax, include Luna in the taxable coin, and then build in what's called a burn anti-handler, and this is just essentially like a function that runs when the transaction is being sent, that would take that tax and send it to a burn wallet before that tax was being distributed equally to the validators and the delegators. So I mean, there were a lot of technological challenges, but I would say most of the issue here was like it was pretty clear cut technologically what we needed to do. I think when it came to like actually getting it installed, getting the community, I think that's where Vegas really shined and was able to move that effort forward.
Nice, you guys taking these steps really steady. And I believe overall this pressure and the work that you guys have done, making the miracles happen are definitely what's important. And it is what it is at this moment, and it's definitely a good direction where you guys are heading. Yeah, well, so what you guys have been saying, and also what we have been looking at, right now we have Luna Classic and the Terra 2.0 as the new Luna token right now at the moment. What are your what were you guys' opinion on this, and what are the differences between the I would say 1.0 and 2.0 tokens at this moment?
Guess that's a good question.
So there are some pretty significant differences between the two. Well, first of all, it is a completely different chain. So Luna
Right.
Luna Classic, Luna V2, they are different.
I hope not.
Technologically, what happened was, I mean, one of the most unique features of Luna Classic is the connection to the UST algorithmic stablecoin, and it really it's one of the features that really attracted a lot of people to this ecosystem in the first place. The fact that you could have a stablecoin that was completely decentralized from any type of fiat backing. It was very appealing, and then the whole Anchor protocol, which ultimately was probably a bad idea, but to get like 20% APR on your deposits into Anchor, that's what really drove the adoption of UST, and then that's also ultimately what drove the price of Luna, the original Luna, to go up. And now with Luna V2, they essentially dropped any notion of algorithmic stablecoins. So Luna V2 is just a standard, L1 Cosmos chain that has a lot of utility, which is so a lot of the developers had moved over to
You don't truly need Binance,
Luna V2,
no.
and so I think that's one thing that we as a community are looking at, right? Because we have a lot of users. We have, I think it was like 6 million wallets on Luna Classic, and what we want to do is bring that utility back. And what we could do is sort of just stay where we are and just sort of wave our hands to the developers and say, hey, come over here. We have a lot of users. But ultimately, what we believe is the right move is to actually move the chain to technological parity with Luna V2. Essentially, upgrade the underlying skeleton of Luna Classic to be on par with Luna V2. That way, any developers that were enticed to go over to Luna V2 and they don't have maybe the manpower or the resources to develop on two separate chains, what would happen is any of their code that they've been writing in the upgraded Cosmos, the WASM, that would be immediately interoperable with Luna Classic. And so that's the goal. It's not that we're not going to just stay where we are. We're not going to stay stagnant. What we're doing is we're actually going to move towards where the developers are and make it much easier to bring utility to the chain.
Did we have CPI data that came out today? What are you talking about? CPI.
Definitely. Thank you,
the market.
Definitely. Well, Vegas, did you
CPI
have
was higher than expected?
Something to add on over here? As Edward said.
So the only thing that I can add to solidify even more the idea is that, for example, yesterday I just put a post on Twitter, sharing the Discord group of the migration steps that we have on Discord. That basically give us an idea how many projects and how can we even support. But like Ed said, it's like we cannot support every project. So at least for them to come and understand what they need to do if they want to work with Luna Classic. The reason that I put that post public, it was that I was trying to do. I was trying to individually reply to all the messages of a new project that want to work with us, but I was overwhelmed. So if I'm not mistaken, yesterday I got 51 messages, and all of them, or almost all of them, were from new projects that want to work on Luna Classic. This solution that and the other developers are thinking, you'll make things much easier because they don't need to do any kind of migration or whatever. They don't need to change the code again and again, because if they are already working on Luna V2, they
And
can
Luna
just
7.8,
come and work
it's
with us because they don't need to change anything.
8.8.1 was
But that's
expected, but
for
we
the
had
future.
8.3.
Definitely. Thank you, Vegas. Well, best luck to you guys. And on that matter, we're definitely seeing the
Oh,
progress over here,
CPI
and
comes
it
out
is
and the pre-market is turning
it's
red.
definitely not
Yeah,
easy and hasn't been done before. So right now at the moment, I
sounds about right.
believe you guys have reopened, or I mean, I should say, it's recoded the Luna Classic new staking services, and it's been launched. And to date, I believe there are more than 10% of the net supply has been staked. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe
I
so.
did see it.
And this has been, a really exciting news so far.
Makes it
Do you
easier to
mind,
burn, right?
do you mind introduce a little bit about this new staking system as, when
You're
this
getting
is
scammed? I'm not getting
has been
scammed.
established to date? I believe we can all see the token price has surged, and we believe we can we
What's
probably
happening,
want to
Matt?
know more about this new staking system on the
MEXC
Luna
has
Stake Classic.
voluntarily implemented the
Yeah,
1.2% burn on
I
their
can
platform,
take that, I guess.
um,
So
and they're talking to Terra
the
Rebels
staking
right
and
now.
delegation, it's actually not, well, there's
And
only
so
a little
you're seeing
part of it that's
MEXC up
new.
to
So
about
this actually doesn't
900 million
re-enable
here.
what was disabled
Hmm.
during the DPEG event. And so what can happen is anyone can take their Luna Classic to the Terra Station wallet, which is the official wallet of the chain. And then you can choose any one of the validators on the list. So there's about 100, well, right now I think there's about 90 active validators, but there would be a maximum of 130 active validators on the chain. And so
Gianna, do you have the right
you can sort of just choose your
Terra
favorite
Luna?
validator and
Do you have the right Terra Luna Classic in your Trust wallet? If you don't have the right one linked there, make sure you select all of them. The rewards will show up in one of them. I'm not sure which one in Trust wallet, but it should show up in one of them. That should be able to help. And if not, we can always reach out to Lunatics Token and see what's going on there. But you should be receiving Lunic rewards.
is there are staking rewards that are distributed every block. And so I think we have a big pool of staking rewards. It's maybe one of the positives that came out of the Healthy Peg is when people were swapping between UST and LUNC. There's a swap tax, and that tax was very high because of the fact of so much being swapped. And so what we have is something called the Oracle pool that's distributing these staking rewards. I think at this moment we have about I think it's about 8% of the total supply staked, and that the rewards that you're seeing are upwards of like 40% APR on these staking rewards. So these are extremely high returns, which has been
Yes, there'll
good.
be
It's
enough
been
liquidity. On chain and off chain, yes.
incentivizing community members to stake, and that comes out of the total circulating supply, because that staking and delegation action locks up your Luna for approximately 21 days, where you're not allowed to withdraw. You can redelegate during that time, but you can't withdraw. And so that it comes out of the total circulating supply. It gives us a little bit of stability on the coin. It's a boost of confidence to people to see that people are not just going to flip and day trade this thing back and forth, but they believe in the long-term potential of the chain, and they're willing to put a time lock on their coins. And so I think there's a lot of positive things that came out of staking and delegation. Ultimately, I would say it's really, that's the beginning of the revival.
Definitely. I mean, I would say it is definitely the beginning, and the beginning is good looking at the token price up to date. And yeah, well, thank you, Ed. So, what we have been seeing over here is, I believe, including this Twitter space, as far by now, we do have more than 1,300 people over here joining us and listening to our discussion. And so for all these, including all this 1.2% of tax burning proposal that was passed recently, that the end of last month. So all of this actions, we have been seeing is because of strong support of community users. So right now, I mean, do you guys mind sharing a little bit, insights of what you guys are building and what you guys have given out or established this culturative community consensus to to this state by far, because we do see a really exciting and really consensus activities from the Luna Classic community until
So
this moment. Mhm.
your question is about what we are doing more
With the community.
with the community. I don't know if I understand. Do you understand that? What it means?
I mean, I can sort of talk about the roadmap that we sort of laid out.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So right. So at this point, there's still a couple things that are broken in the ecosystem. Right. So staking delegation was broken. We fixed that. Then the hyperinflationary event. And we're trying to deal with that on multiple fronts. So one front, of course, is this 1.2% tax and burn. And really, I mean, I think a real big thank you needs to go out to MEXC, because they're the ones doing what the community had voted for on off chain, right, on their platform. And I mean, I don't want to turn the question back to MEXC, but like later on, it would be very interesting to hear about, some of the hurdles that you guys had to go through in order to get it off chain. And maybe, that would inform some of the other centralized exchanges on how to actually do something like this. But anyway, going to like what we're doing. So we had the hyperinflationary event. We actually had this disablement of IBCs, which are these bridge connections to other coins in the Cosmos ecosystem. Those were also shut down. And then, of course, the disablement of the minting swapping mechanism between Luna and UST. So those are ultimately still broken. What's been really great is being able to enact some of our code on the blockchain has really gotten the attention of some of the other developers in the Cosmos ecosystem, right? So like before that, we were essentially dead and we had no hope. The fact that we were able to, to actually develop something, get it going again. Now people that sort of had dismissed us earlier on are now seeing like, oh, maybe there can be something here. And so we've gotten a bunch of different developers from, Luna 2, from Osmosis, from other other places, and they're all chipping in now, trying to help rebuild the ecosystem, which is great because they have the very deep experience of what had happened with the Terra code beforehand. And so I think we have a team from Osmosis that's looking at IBCs right now, and I think they are very actively chipping in. We have a meeting with them later today to see how we can integrate our code. We also are looking at the swap mechanism again, right? So the swap was ultimately what caused the hyperinflation in the first place. And if we can figure out a way to repeg UST, and this is a very long, difficult process, but if we can figure out how to repeg UST in a stable way,
we can reverse the burn or the inflation, right? So the swap caused hyperinflation, and we think that if we can do this right,
Bro, the
we can
CPI is nuts. What
do
do you think?
hyperdeflation, reversing
CPI
the
affects
process through
so many
the swap
markets.
mechanism.
It'll
So that's
massively
what
affect
we're.
it, and then we'll see it probably recover a little bit.
Oh, okay. So that's sort of like the next
But
couple things on
yeah, it's a
our
little ridiculous.
agenda, which, you know, time frame wise is very variable. I mean, this is so many unknowns in this picture that it's very hard to give a time frame to something like that. But then ultimately, right, on the blockchain side of things, we're going to upgrade things to get to technological parity to V2 to Luna V2, and then we can start bringing back some of the old utility and the developers.
Definitely. Well, I mean, it's what you're saying, doing the unpack and making the stable coin stabilize again, which is exciting enough for me, in my opinion, you know, because I believe
Sorry,
that's
not
for a
vid,
lot
but
of people
live
that are
audio.
looking at the USDC at the moment, are having the same
Live
feeling with
audio on
me
Twitter.
as well. So I wanted to have Vegas to join this conversation a little bit on your side, since you know, because you're the lead operation on the side for the community. Do you guys do anything, you know, special that could share with us to, you know, center this community so far?
I think what we do is talking a lot with the community, trying to understand what they want to for their rivals and the whole community to do next. Yeah, for example, like Edward said, and very well, the roadmap is long. We don't have a lot of manpower to make it happen, so we have to be a little more. We have to do baby steps, you know, and the community understands that. So the community itself is already reorganizing in a way that is no longer just the Terra rebels doing things, is other organizations doing different things at the same time, and we support that, of course.
Understood. Understood. Thank you, Vegas, and thank you, Edward. That was definitely a really insightful roadmap that that you just shared. And I don't know if it's been a little bit spoiler right now, or have you guys shared all these with the community already?
So these ideas that Edward was saying about the correct me if I'm wrong, Ed, is Rogue One, yeah, the merge of the two chains. That is still very new. I think I think Edward never said that in public, but the rest of the things, the USDC, the repeg, and all of that is on top of the table since day one. I think the first time that I spoke with Zaradar, that is another dev, a very intelligent dev. The first conversation that we have was not even about burning or staking; it was straight away to USDC back, because it's a very sensitive subject, and it needs to be, like Ed say, it needs to be done absolutely correct. Yeah. It's taking a little more time to organize the proper idea. But now that we have multiple teams working on the same subject, I believe that we're going to be able to do it, to make it happen.
It was crazy. The camera's up here, so it looks like you can't even see my eyes.
Nice.
I'm just going
Thank you,
through the
Vegas.
screens.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Someone just said I'm
this
asleep.
by far, like I mentioned, I believe it is a really good re-beginning.
Can I comment on SOS
So
Limited
what's
stock?
our last
Things are not
question
looking
would
good for that
definitely be
position.
for you guys, what
We
do
have
you
to look
guys
into it
think
deeper,
about the
but
current roadmap
at the current moment,
so
it
far? Would it, you
doesn't look
know,
great. And I have a
revive the
lot
whole
invested in there. That might be my
ecosystem,
biggest loss
you know,
so far.
by a certain period of
In history,
the
actually.
roadmap of you guys'
Largest loss
structure
in
right
history.
now? It is important, but you know, a really sensitive question.
Again, I think it's really hard to give any concrete dates to anything, just because you know, what we're doing is absolutely not standard practice, right? We're not the original developers of this of this chain. You know, we're picking it up, and we're getting some support now
Positioning of the
from the
camera looks so
original
sad.
group TFL, which is great.
I
I
look
mean,
so sad.
some of the members of TFL have been absolutely, you know,
When I listen, I look down, so it's
very,
worse.
I don't know how to say this. They've been extremely helpful in many different cases. Even though I believe, you know, policy wise, they are not supposed to, or they also have no incentive to help us.
Yeah, no
But they
problem.
are anyway. So,
I
you
think
know,
SOS
thank you
definitely has
to
some work to
them.
do.
But of course, they have their own
Things could
jobs,
happen,
right?
but
They have their job to maintain
doesn't
V2.
look promising.
Right.
It's very difficult to maintain two chains. We are all volunteers. We all have our own lives, our families, our jobs, and so all of that needs to be factored into a potential timeline. The fact that we're getting a lot of outside help now has really boosted some of our efforts. I mean, we had seen IBC reopening to be in a year, right? That was our original projection, but the fact that a group from Osmosis has come in and helped us, and they're actually helping in some other aspects too. That I think that's really kickstarted that effort. I think maybe
MEXC
you know,
is doing
IBC's
burns. Some people are asking.
by the end of
Um,
this year.
if people are wondering what's going on right now, MEXC is doing burns. They voluntarily introduced the 1.2% burn on their platform, off-chain transactions before even the on-chain transactions are live. So it's phenomenal to see that they're doing that, and you see the burns within Lunatic Penguins. You can see that they're catching up to Lunatic's token by doing these burns, and people are still investing and buying and doing all the things that they wanted to do on that platform as normal, even though they're implementing this burn. It's not a fee situation. It is a percentage of the transaction. They implemented it off-chain transactions on their platform. They're doing something that Binance and all the other platforms have not done, and in my opinion, they are forever goated. You know, as the only ones that come out and do the burns, even over the actual chain. So I will continue to talk about them. I'm going to create a video about them, and hopefully more people go over to the exchange and decide to trade and do everything they want over there. Obviously, it's going to be difficult with the liquidity issue. I don't know how much they hold within liquidity, with their liquidity, but I hope that others catch on, and maybe they'll add more to liquidity. I don't know.
From Maxi side.
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
Well, yeah. All right. So, just a small reminder that if your question is good and decent, or you do have some really good suggestion that when we picked you up, you asked the question, we will reward you with $20 worth of Luna Classic, and might be 20,000 next year. Who knows,
That's
right?
not bad.
So yeah,
Not
well,
bad, guys.
let's
Get up
get
there and ask
our
some questions.
first
I can't do it because my phone, I
question
don't
up over
need the
here.
extra money, but
We got Luke Kwan over
Luke
here
Wan,
connecting, and I'm just gonna pick
the golfer?
the next one while he's speaking, so we save some time over here. Luke Kwan, you're live.
Wait, where?
Hey man.
Oh, okay. That's only
Luke Kwan
one
or
name.
Lucas?
Yes, sir.
Hi,
There he
you're
is.
live.
Hey, so I wanted to go back to the point where you asked about the community. Um, so right now the community is completely on board with the exchanges. They're supporting the entire thing that these wonderful people are doing to restore Luna Classic. Um, you know, all the exchanges. Well, a majority of the community uh, wants to send their uh, currency over to the exchanges that are supporting the 1.2%, as well as staking with um, validators who are supporting all these proposals and everything. That the proposal 4661 that Vegas set up it's over 99% on yes as we speak. And so the community is coming together to help um, these people restore the currency and restore the project itself. So it's gotten as far as even I don't know if a lot of people here know who it is, but Martin Lawrence. He's a celebrity in America who's asking about Luna Classic, and so it's reaching a really good distance, and it's getting a lot of word out, especially on Twitter.
What's up with the
So the
Bugatti
community
stuff?
has done a lot and came together to help Vegas, to help Edward, to help Terra Rebels and everybody, fix this. So we're doing our part while they're doing, the intensity aspect of the restoration.
Yeah, that's very much appreciated. I think I do know Martin Lawrence. So I watched him as a kid and watched his movies. So yeah, that's exciting that he's on board.
Yeah, I just wanted to come up and answer that. It was kind of skipped over, and you know, like myself, Mr. Diamond Hands, Sis Diamond Hands, Lunk Dow, all these people are big members of the community, and they're all working hard to get the word out. They're doing a wonderful job.
Yes, they are, mates. This community is unique, and the way that they are working to make this happen, like you were saying about the validators, for example, is already a proposal on the governance asking to decrease the security that Ed put in place, because one thing that we didn't talk was about again, Ed did something that was pioneer, that he was securing a little the governance and the network by not allowing more than 20% of delegations for validators. With that, decentralizes a little more the network itself. And I can see that the community itself realized that some of the validators have a little more power than others, and they are starting to spread a little the stakes to them. Regarding as well the exchanges that are supporting us, the communities are already screaming that they want to support back the ones that support Luna Classic, of course, and for that, mate, I'm thankful. That's it.
Just a quick question: what color
Alrighty.
Bugatti do you have?
All right. Well, thank you, Lucas, for your
Thank you.
contribution. Yeah, thank
I
you.
will drop myself from the speaker panel now. Thank you guys for listening, and Mexi, thank you for hosting the space. I appreciate it.
Most definitely. Thank you for coming up. Alrighty, we got our next one
Are people buying so much and it's falling? Is the hope for
with
Luna? I mean, the volume
John.
at the moment is crazy.
Almost John over here.
The volume doesn't mean that they're buying. Volume can mean that they're selling.
Or
Volume
did you
doesn't just
guys
mean buy.
see anybody that's with familiar Twitter handle over here in the audience that you guys want to pick? Feel free to let me know.
I can see Luke Dow over there.
Yeah, Lunk Dow, Diamond Hands.
I can see DJ Trev over there as well. Big supporters.
Yeah, definitely. Well, give me 1 second. I'm gonna send a co-host. I just sent you a co-host request to both of you guys, so you guys can pick the audience. So, because I do believe there are a lot of contributors over here that are familiar with what you guys have been doing and wanted to, come up to the stage and share their voice as well. And Amos, John,
Martin Lawrence.
you're live.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I will start by saying thank you to the developers who have given their time to this project, who did not allow the project to die, give their time, give their money, give their energy to revive Lunacy. I must say thank you to you guys. You guys are wonderful. And Vegas, your idea of the 1.2 is very wonderful. Say thank you so much. And merci, thank you for having us in your live space. Thank you for supporting Lunacy community. My little question is I want to be sure if Mercy will be supporting Lunacy on spot trading.
I didn't see Martin Lawrence's tweet about
spot trading and future trading for the 1.2 tax bond. Because some of my friends, we need to move our token into any exchange that are supporting this vision. So I want to be sure.
I think Max already replied to that before. First of all, thank you, mates. This will never be possible without all of us. But I think Max already replied that saying that they are the first ones, big central exchanges, to support the 1.2%. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, we are. And thank you, Amos, John. We have already, and also we do have announcement about it. So if you could, you can direct to our official page, and there's an announcement within the announcement section that we support, and there's data, there's how many tokens that we have burned by now. So, and thank you for the question. Okay, well, Amos?
Yeah. The announcement I saw was talking about withdrawal and deposit with tax on deposit. I'm talking about spot.
Yeah,
I'm talking about spot trading.
They already do it on off-chain. That's right, mate. They are already doing it off-chain.
Okay. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you so much. You guys are wonderful. You guys are wonderful. We are going to support you guys too. As you support the community will keep supporting you guys. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, Amos John. And if you do have any, you want to know more details and stuff like that, you could feel free to send us a PM, and we will have a person to maybe pull out that link for you of the announcements. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, Vegas or Ed, did you guys made your pick with the audience?
It's up to you guys, but I don't know if DJ Trev wants to speak. Where's Lockdown? Lockdown as well. He's always a really good speaker and supportive of the community.
Here. I've been trying to do
and I
it
cannot
for the past...
scroll much more down because my phone is not in good,
2 months
stage at
maybe?
the moment. So I don't know if I can see someone else that is there, a big supporter, or even if you can see some dev on the middle of all of the community.
Yeah, no problem. Ed, if you see anybody, feel free to pull them out. Even they haven't request, because I wanted to make this session more special, since we do have a lot of contributor over here, and we do see a lot of people that's supporting what you guys have been saying over here. So if you see anybody, feel free to send out the invitation. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Mr. Diamond Hands up there.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Diamond Hands. Yep.
Hello. Awesome. Thank you all so much for bringing me up to speak. First of all, I want to say to Edward in Vegas, job well done on everything that you've done this far. You guys are absolute rock stars and you're killing it. A big shout out to Mexi. I don't think you guys fully realize yet the impact that you're having on this movement. There's a lot of people who are very, very appreciative of what you are doing to support this cause. And we are the test rabbits. We are the guinea pigs. All eyes are watching us so closely. And I'm here to tell you guys, and I've been saying this since May.
What block height will the burn start?
We're going to do
actually know that offhand.
That is absolutely going to break all records, silence all the critics and doubters, make believers of everybody, and we're going to do something that has never been done before in crypto history. And it always starts just like this, When people tell you you can't do something, when they say it's never going to happen, not in our lifetime, keep dreaming.
Yeah, I just retweeted
keep
it.
dreaming.
Martin Lawrence's
Well, I'm here to tell you, man, I'm very,
response.
very impressed with everybody's support so far. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. I feel it in my soul.
The computer doesn't let you do it.
It
has to be on mobile to go through it.
It takes teamwork. And if you are listening in here and you don't know what's going on and you dropped in here just to listen to a random Twitter space, you better keep your eyes on Luna Classic, because we're getting ready to move some mountains and we want you to be a part of it. But again, guys, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I'm here to tell you, if you are sleeping on Luna Classic, you better not sleep too long, because we're going to be breaking records. Thank you all so much.
See, we want questions.
Wow,
I'm
really
sure.
Good shout out. Thank you, Mr. Diamond Hands.
I think people want questions to see what's the next steps or something like that.
I guess you had your mic on a bit. Do you want to say something?
No, I was just it's emotive, this type of speeches, you know. It's like I want to say exactly what he's saying, but at the same time I don't want
Who is chatting then?
to
MEXC
people to
Global,
just start calling me moon boy or whatever.
And
but
Terra
I believe that is right. I believe that what we are doing at the moment is so unique that scares some people. But in reality, it's the new ideas, the strange ideas that when they work, they really work, you know. So yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
we're not going to ask him that. I can't access my mic on my
made my goosebumps
on my phone
up a little bit. But yeah, well, Vegas, you can always say what you feel like, and maybe add an NFA by the end of it. But you know, keep an eye on Luna Classic, as Mr. Diamond Hands just stated. Right. All right. Thanks, man.
It's true. Right. Yeah, it's true.
Right.
But I like the community, because now the community knows. Yeah, on the beginning it was very difficult to explain why we were trying to revive a chain that was dead, why we were doing this, but after the click on the community, and the people, the non-believers, make click on their heads. Now I don't think I need to say it. I think the community is already screaming that so much. They are the ones bringing this to life. You know, yes, a lot of is being done behind the closed doors on the back scenes, but the community itself, mate, is in my opinion, is the ones that are driving this whole train.
Definitely. And Maxi, we are here to support the Luna Classic community as well. So we're definitely gonna do this together. And I'm not speaking it by myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't be, we wouldn't be here hosting this space. We wanted to, our audiences want our community to hear more details, hear more about what you guys are doing, the roadmap, the structure of the new Luna Classic that's coming along. So yeah, definitely thank you guys for the contribution. And we're here. And yeah, let's get our next speaker up. I believe the aliens. And again, if you guys do feel anybody needs to, speak out loud, feel free to pull them up. And aliens, you're live, and the Luna Classic wants you. Nice, PFP. Hey guy, you're live.
Okay. I will say good morning to everyone, and I really appreciate every space that come from to the idea of rebuild of Luna Classic, and I think a lot of Maxi and Vegas and Edward. Um, I am one of the account of Twitter that support like 1,000% for Lunar Classic, and I was feeling so lonely like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. I was the only one like spread uh, the Lunar Classic news or some level. I mean, what I mean about that? I mean, I didn't heard about Terra Rebel, and I was feeling lonely, and
You lost
it
sound?
was me and
Why have you
Lunatic
lost
talking,
sound? It shows that it's up.
and Matt Perry. We were three in Crypto King, so I was feeling so lonely, and I didn't think that one day there will be Maxi, Vegas, Edward, like like more thousand and million of people will support the token right now. So, but so right now I'm
It's
really
nice.
happy, and that the team is doing a great job, and we all see it, and I wanna talk about something about the education of the um new supporters. I mean holders. Um, m- every day and every hours, more people support Lunic, but they don't really know the story. They just know that it was a token that was that down, or maybe the haters say it was dead. So I want you guys to think about that, to educate more the people who the new people who support right now Lunic, because they don't really know. They just come and buy the token and set when it's come the green position, they just wanna sell the token and take profit. It's good to take profit, but they don't really know how high it can grow, or it can change the our life. Thank you guys.
All right, thank you. And I believe that's a really good shout out over here, and thank you for coming up. Vegas and that, did you guys want to add something on this?
Yeah, maybe I can jump in because I think there are quite a number of new investors that are just looking at the price of this thing. You know, they saw that it was at $100 before, and now they see it's like 0.000 whatever
People are
3
getting upset.
something,
Why?
and they don't understand. And I think there might be this perception is like, oh, we can get
Why are
back
people
to
getting
where we
upset?
were
He might have been
before, but
watching
the
crypto.
underlying economics and the mechanism behind the hyperinflation needs to be taken into account. I think it's very important for new
Let me see if it'll
investors
work
to
today.
do their research as to, you know, that scenario of just throwing your money into something and then looking for, you know, profits and that sort of thing. I think that is probably the wrong way to look at this. This is not going to be a lottery ticket for people. This is a long-term revival, um, high risk, high reward type of scenario. And I think people need to be very careful and do their research on what we're trying to do here.
Yeah,
It's not letting
definitely,
me do it.
definitely. That's a gentle reminder, I would say. But yeah, what you guys are doing right now, not even to discuss to make it back to $100, but you know what you guys are doing right now are definitely making history. But I mean, what if you could? That that's definitely gonna be, you know, written on the
It's
paper.
not. It's not
All right,
working.
and thank you, the audience, for the shout out.
We need like questions.
Thank you guys for having me here.
Alrighty, and we have another one coming up. DJ Traff.
Yes, gentlemen, how are you?
Thank goodness.
Hey, we're good. How are you
Hey,
doing?
DJ,
Excellent.
how's it
Hey,
going?
thanks for bringing me up. I would have jumped in
It's not
earlier, but
working.
I'm at work and just gets difficult sometimes. Listen, from my point of view, everything that the Terra Rebels have worked this past few months to accomplish and get done for us would all be for nothing if it weren't for the efforts of MEXC, Lunatics Token, Meta Gloria, HCC, all these people who have worked really hard to kind of counteract this hyperinflation and try to burn off this coin. Secondly, I've read a few things from a lot of these different exchanges about how difficult it would be to implement the burn tax off chain. Well, MEXC has taken the lead. They have implemented it before the tax is even active on the chain. They've implemented it. They've taken the lead. They've taken the reins, and they've shown everybody that it can be done. So I want to thank you for that. I really don't want to hear the excuses from all the other guys anymore because these guys showed you how to do it. So I appreciate that, and I'm going to leave it at that because I got to get back to work.
Yeah. Jeez,
All right,
I
man.
wish I
Thank you
could
for the
answer.
shout out.
I wish I could ask a question. I can't do anything on here.
Just a quick one, Matt. I need to go as well. I need to go back to work. So if there's a quick,
right.
that will be perfect. If not, I will need to go.
All right. Well, okay, no problem. Let's get one last guy coming up over here, and then we'll call it a day. How's that sound?
So it's not a single question.
For me, it sounds perfect. Only
I
Fred
can't get
wants
on
to
there.
continue by himself. But yeah, for me, it's I need to go.
Yeah, I have a
Thank
few
you, Matt.
minutes. I can stick around.
No problem. All right, let's get our last one coming up over here, and thank you, Trav.
I'm on the space, and I can't click the mic. I can't click it. It won't let me.
Classy.
It won't let me do anything.
Classy,
I can't even listen on here. I don't.
One last.
I hate
Hi,
the new
Jets.
update.
So I've got
Twitter.
a really quick question for y'all. So
It's
because you
stupid.
guys obviously have no time. So Wrap Luna, we know that that's a big issue. A lot of people are worried about it. The shuttle, it got disabled on Binance. I wanted to know, just to let people in the audience know, should they be worried about any Wrap Luna that they're holding right now? Obviously, this
It's
is Luna
finally a
Classic,
question.
and whether
Good
or
job,
not they
Classy.
should be converting that Wrap Luna Classic into native Luna.
That is not something that I follow in deep. Maybe Ed can answer that, but I believe that the wormhole is working
I've restarted
properly.
my phone 700 times. It does not.
Yeah,
work.
I mean, I've got this question a couple of times, and I've also not been following the Wrap Luna. I think Terra's closing down their bridge. The call is to bridge back into the native
My
coin.
question.
Sorry.
Sorry, I can't really. So I was looking to ask a question, and I'll tell you
right.
what the question is afterwards. They're almost done, so I'll tell you what the question is.
I don't know if you are in the community, but we'll definitely direct this question, into the community, and maybe somebody can have a better explanation.
He's got his YouTube
for you.
How much he has on YouTube. So he's obviously in the community.
Yeah, no, I just kind of figured it. It's just for the most part, we got to get, confirmation on all those things. For the most part, I think the biggest takeaway we got from this AMA that you guys kind of leaked out was the fact that you guys have an advanced roadmap on the whole UST repegging. And we didn't really think it was going to repeg potentially in 2023. Obviously, we know it's a hard and arduous process and that there's a lot that needs to be done. But it's great that you have people working on the IBC. We have the fundamentals set out. We have the Rising Phoenix. People think that, we need to know about the Luna Classic story, but in all reality, this story just began. Everything we've just done is just starting. I'd say probably last week because of staking and governance, we've just begun our story. So I thank you for your time, Edward, Kim, and Vegas. I'm very excited to see more from Luna.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Classy, for being our last guest. And I believe that will wrap up for our space for the day. And sorry about that last question. We'll definitely have that answer for you in a couple of days from the community, of course. And and thank you all for coming out to this wonderful MEXC Twitter space. And for those who hasn't joined the Gleam task on our pinned tweet over here, please do that because the password is LUNC. That's right, LUNC. And on the end, we wanted to have a big shout out and big thank you for Vegas and Edward for coming along, joining into our space. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, and that's it. That's unfortunately we didn't get to answer a lot of your questions, but definitely leave a question with in our community, which is Maxi English, and we'll also share a lot of exciting news about Luna Classic in the future within the community as well. And there are definitely a lot of Maxi events and prizes waiting for you if you join. So again, join our clean task if you haven't done so. And that's it. Have a good one, and definitely check out Luna Classic, the roadmap in the future, and stay engaged. Alrighty? All right. Have a good morning, have a good afternoon, and have a good evening. Bye bye now, guys.
I always like to see how long people's outros are because outros are always a difficult thing to do, especially for me. I try and hit the like button, do all this, do all that, make sure you check out this, everything. It's just so many different things. And it's always funny because I'm like, the outro is going a little bit long, but then I hear my own outro and I'm like, yeah, I understand it, I guess. But I was looking to ask questions. I was going to ask 2 questions and probably would have had more questions here because I felt like there were no questions that were asked. It was all just, shout outs and like, oh, this is amazing. We absolutely love it. It's the best thing since sliced bread. And yeah, we understand that, but we want to ask the questions to get some of those answers to understand where their head is. Because remember, they're making the decisions. So when it comes to, or at least putting the decisions out there and we are voting on those decisions. So whether they're putting that out there and they're putting out the right things or things we expect them to see, we need to ask the questions to get there. So my question was more related towards the 1.2%, not really gassing up I guess their ego or them in general, but it was around the 1.2%. And it was, what price point are they looking at to re-enable the algorithm? Because that's really the goal we want to get to, is obviously getting to a point to where we want to, peg USTC and re-enable the algorithm. So what price point are they looking at? Is it a certain price point or is it a certain difference between Lunic and USTC? Are we looking at X amount of dollars higher than USTC in order to re-enable the algorithm? Are we looking at, USTC has to be at $1 and then or LUNC has to be at $5 compared to the $1 price of USTC? We don't know exactly where they're looking to get to in order to re-enable the algorithm. Also, the expectation on how much USTC and how much Lunic will be burnt by, on-chain and off-chain transactions. Obviously, we know MEXC is doing a pretty big thing here by seeing how much is being burnt in the last, I don't know, however many days. We're seeing 50 million, 70 million, another 50 million go through. And obviously with more transactions, they are forever goated in my opinion. And I'm going to put out a video probably somewhere around 11 o'clock and talk about how they are the GOAT of the 1.2% burn. It shows that every other exchange can do it. DJ Trev had it right by saying, look, every other exchange can do this, and MEXC is showing how easy it can be. They're just thinking for themselves and saying, hey, what if people buy Lunic elsewhere? If I implement the burn, is it going to make my position less valuable, or what we're holding less valuable in there? And no, you can see MEXC is seeing a lot of volume compared to what they normally see. You're seeing about 1% or so in MEXC, and that's phenomenal. So if we're seeing $10 million that flow through, Terra Luna Classic, so like if you go down here and you go to MEXC, it's 0.64% here, and that's $10 million in volume that's going through MEXC, and you're taking 1.2% of that. So it's not the most ridiculous amount, but you are getting 1.2% of that burned off, which is more than what a lot of other places are doing. And that's literally within one day. It's not within multiple days. You're seeing 24 hours and 10.6 million. I mean, it works. We know that it works. It shows that it works. So I wish I could have asked the question. It's just I've been having trouble with Twitter Spaces for like I don't know how long. I had the only trouble I didn't have is I went on a Twitter Space with can't remember who it was. I went on a Twitter Space and I did not have issues with it. I think it might have been for Lunatics Token and one of the ones for Lunatics Token. And I didn't have issues with it. And then now I thought maybe it would be that same case and I wouldn't have an issue with it. But here we go. I had another issue with it. I'm still logged into that thing here. It shows me still logged into the MEXC global space, and the space is not even live anymore. So I don't even know how to exit out of it. I can't do anything with this. It's stupid. Because I feel like that's the time to ask these questions, to get these out there and have more people engaged on how meaningful this is, not just hyping it up and saying, they're doing an amazing job, because they are. They're doing an amazing job, but people know that. We want to see how it's going to affect the overall volume, how it's going to affect, the price point. We want to know all of that stuff. I think you can't run both the desktop and mobile at the same time. That might be the case. That might be the case. I don't know, because I did that before. I've done it before, but then I updated Twitter and it didn't work. Matt, give me a membership. I don't know how to do that. I do appreciate all the people that are in here. We have 1,274 likes. We are going to exit out of here. We're not going to do a members only chat today because, we went overtime with that MEXC listening, which was good. It was great to be a part of. Again, I'm going to create a video and upload it at about 11 for MEXC. And hopefully we get more people involved on that exchange. I did just put out a tweet, so if you guys want to go and like that, feel free to go ahead and like that. DM them on Twitter. They may answer you. It's not about them answering me there. It's about answering me with a bunch of people there, so people do understand, where the question is coming from and how meaningful the answer will be. Right? It's not about just me hearing it, because yes, I can hear it and I can relay the message to you, but I want it to come directly from their mouths. It means so much more when it comes from them versus when they send a message to me and I just relay the message to you, right? So, a Twitter account Terra Luna Classic is anonymous. The question is, did you enter your desktop first? Maybe the web app versus the state of that's probably the case. I can try and do that the next time, to where, because I'm listening on the desktop app so that you guys can hear it, and then I'm talking on this one, which again I've done before. Previously I was listening on the desktop app for maybe 20-30 minutes, and then decided to live stream it and put that out there, and then also decided to talk to people when I was in the YouTuber AMA for Shiba Inu. That wasn't really the best thing because we got no answers for that. But I feel like we would get so many answers here if we actually asked a damn question. And we had so many people there that were willing, that looked like they had the ability to ask a question. You had DJ Trev, too bad that he was working. You had Happy Caddy Crypto. You had Classy Crypto, who's asked a question about Terra, Rap Luna, which a lot of people wanted to hear about. So it's a good question. You had, that was the only question I think that was asked. Everything else was like, you're doing amazing type of thing. And I understand if we get one of those, but we don't need everybody to come up and do that. No offense to the community, but we don't need everybody to come up and do that. We need to think of thorough, like well thought of questions that can give us the answers that we need for future movement, right? Matt, have you heard of the newly launched Ultron? Layer 1 blockchain, its own application. No, I haven't heard of it. What's your view on it? I won't be able to go into that because it'll be too long. I'm going to be live for like one more minute. So I normally would. Will you join the Lunatics AMA, Matthew? Would love to see you there. It's going to be today. Yes. So I know it was supposed to be like a Luna Classic community, Lunatics community AMA, kind of like that. I don't really have many questions right now. I could probably bring up some questions if they want some. Um, but I don't know if I'll be able to access my mic during that time. So I'll try. I will try to do it. It's at 4 o'clock today. I do have golf today, so it's probably going to be on the way to golf at that moment. Now, obviously, I upload my videos during the day, and I upload them at like 3, maybe like 6, and maybe like 8 o'clock or something. But I'll pre-record those videos and have it scheduled to post on those times. Um, so I will try. Matt, I have a question. Why can everybody transfer their shares from what? I have a question. Why can everyone transfer their shares from? Their shares from what? Where's the Lunatic AMA? So I believe it's gonna be, I don't think they're doing it under um Lunatic's token. Let me check. I think they might have retweeted it because they usually do it through um I think Duncan Gray. Let's see. AMA is at 4 p.m. AMA is at 4 p.m. UTC, which would be, is that earlier? That's later for me. 4 a.m. Alexa, what's 4 a.m. UTC in Eastern? Eastern Daylight. Oh. It is 12 a.m. Eastern. What? Is that further? Do you know what? I'm tired of this. 4 p.m. UTC to Eastern is 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Eastern. That's, oh, you know what? That's not at golf. That's like at 12. So that's not a problem at all. They will be live at 12, not during my golf session. All right, well that can work. Boring. I'm boring. I'm sorry. In case you guys haven't seen it yet, CPI data says inflation came down a bit to 8.3%. So hopefully they will see some green today. Yeah, but it's higher than expectation though. So does anyone know how to swap my Luna portal? Please help. How to swap your Luna portal? Where are you holding it? Obviously Trust Wallet, right? Everything is down, but Lunic is going up. Lunic is going up right now. Well, this is the thing. Lunic is not going up. It is up. It's down from where it was at the high point. The high point today was 38, and we're currently at 35. But I definitely think. Let me refresh this. I definitely think we are going to see some of this push, and it's so interesting, so amazing to see that MEXC is making these burns. Like you look at this MEXC burn. This is what we want to see, and instead of just seeing like all of these different things here, we want to see it be MEXC CEX or Binance CEX or Gate.io CEX. We want to see that all of those are coming from those platforms with the 1.2% burn. And you could see Coinin is sending the 1.2% tax, the burn tax to the burn wallet. So they've been implementing that. But you can see something at a larger scale with MEXC that it's just phenomenal, right? I don't know where Coinin is. Coinin is at 21.5. It's 11th on the list. Happy Caddy Crypto is at 25. You're going to see KuCoin users at 66.9. Binance users at 133. And MEXC is now up to almost at 1 billion. So I have a feeling they're going to keep burning off more, and you're going to see more popularity because I will continue to shout their name out to everybody. But anyways, guys, I have to get out of here. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you guys check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. One of those links is for my Patreon. If you guys want to join the Patreon, we have 240 members that are a part of the Patreon now, and we have a lot of different things, right? A lot of different stuff. It's good to be able to see any buys that I make, any sells that I make, also some different educational videos, some educational content. So feel free to check that out. You can also reach out to me directly. I answer more questions on there than I do anywhere. So feel free to be a part of that if you want to just join as a Discord level member. I answer more on this than I do on Discord because there's a lot of questions that come through here. Obviously, you can see I have 9 messages right now that I'm going to go through this morning. But anyways, if you want to join the Patreon, feel free to join the Patreon. If you want to follow any of my other YouTube channels, definitely check those out in the description. Also, make sure you just keep your eyes on everything that's happening